When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger, where you'll find over 30,000 mouth-watering choices that excite your inner foodie. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices, plus extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week. You can also save up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with fuel points. More savings and more inspiring flavors make shopping Kroger worth it every time. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
What's the easiest choice you can make? Window instead of middle seat? Picking a vendor who sends a great gift basket? Outsourcing business tasks you hate? What about selling with Shopify? Whether you're selling a little or a lot, Shopify helps you do your thing, however you cha-ching. Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business. From the launch your online shop stage to the first real-life store stage, all the way to the did we just hit a million orders stage. Shopify's there to help you grow. Whether you're selling scented soap or offering outdoor outfits, Shopify helps you sell. Wherever and whatever you're selling, Shopify's got you covered. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/try. Go to shopify.com/try now to grow your business, no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/try.
Hashtag no music, no intro. Another episode of Hashtag Sanctuary Podcast coming at you. I don't understand. Maybe I do understand how in one season I have seen the Saints pitch a shutout in person and get shut out in person.
I would love to see that stat. How many times that happened to a team?
The Saints don't score a single point today and get shut out for the first time, I think, in 20 years? 2 decades.
Yep.
I think that's what the stat was.
Like 22 years or something, 21 years.
Yeah. Every previous time they had gotten shut out, at least historically, have been to the 49ers.
Yep.
And one thing, as I said on this preview pod, said the game's gonna be close.
You did, bro.
I just had this inkling that this game was gonna be close. And if you're a Saints fan, I think this, on one hand, is like the best and worst outcome to have as a fan in this game.
Right.
Because the defense played an absolutely stellar game against 49ers, against Kyle Shanahan, Debo, Ayuk, Kittle, Kishner McCaffrey. Played a great game. Great game. In theory, gave up one touchdown the entire game. And yet, people, I don't know, people are just dumb on Twitter, because I got so many people coming and just like, well, maybe we just shouldn't fire DA. Maybe we should just like demote him back to defensive coordinator. Like, that's not how this works. Like, you're idiotic. And the weird part about the game, Ryan, like being there, the offensive line like Andy Dalton played okay. Like, the offensive line gave him time. Nick Bosa didn't. The Niners weren't getting pressure on Andy Dalton. Like, the passes that were working a little bit, but they never had a rhythm. The run game was completely gone. And we talked about it on the pod. We talked about it on the preview pod. Like, don't try to run this at this team. And every time they did, it felt like it was a wasted down or a wasted play. But it was such a weird game being there and seeing Andy Dalton play as decent as Andy Dalton's going to play for you in a place that was a very loud, hostile environment. But the offensive line played well. The defense played well. And still, at no point did I feel like the Saints were going to win that game.
Right.
When
Even
they went
at
up
13 points, man, it's like.
To me, the game was over when they went up 10-0, bro. I was like, that's it.
Right.
This is it.
It just seemed insurmountable. It seemed insurmountable, man. And that's how it's been with this team, like, most of the year. It's like they cannot play from behind, which is crazy because of the way the season started with, like, that crazy come from behind win against Atlanta. Like, biggest comeback in history. Like, and, like, since then, it's like this team cannot come back from behind. And not only that, man, it's like you just never saw it. Like, the thing is, they did move the ball today, bro. Like, they did move the ball, but the red zone play call and the red zone execution was horrendous. Like, horrendous. And you couldn't put up any points. You put up goose egg, bro. Nothing. Like, that is just, oh.
And here's the thing, man. When the best player on the team plays awful, like, AK had his worst game as a pro.
Oh, worst game. 2 fumbles, bro. He wasn't making it happen. It was not a good game for him at all. At all.
Here's something that I've noticed this season, though. And I think it goes back to coaching, because AK in Sean Payton's tenure was not a known fumbler. It just was like, it wasn't his thing. But this season there was a fumble. It was a fumble against the Panthers. And then there was 2 fumbles today. I'm pretty sure there's been other fumbles that have escaped my mind. And I think it goes back to what he brought up in practice. And I'm not alleviating him completely, but it's like, how much are they really going over ball protection?
Right. I mean, it was a constant thing with Sean Payton.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, you can go listen to the mic'd ups with Sean Payton, and he's always high and tight. Like, walking on the sideline, he gonna come run after you. Like, hey, I don't like where you holding that ball.
Bro, you remember AK's rookie season?
Even if they didn't fumble.
You remember AK's rookie season against the Bucks when he makes that insane play and he scores a touchdown, but he was like seconds away from it. And he scored a touchdown. As soon as AK got to the sideline, Sean was doing what? On his ass, bro. After a touchdown.
On his ass. And then called him out of the presser after that. Like, right. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was always on him. You know what I'm saying? Like, Drew Brees said it on America's game. Like, he expects perfection. And he expects it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So he's always on you, even when you think you're playing well. It's like, oh, no, you can get a little better than that. You know what I'm saying? And look, we got to stop comparing the shit to Sean Payton at some point. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, it's not that we comparing to Sean Payton. It's just like we're looking at, elite coaching versus non-elite coaching. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like the attention to detail, man. You got Ramchick with a false start on like a critical, what was that, a third down? It was just like so many things.
It was okay. So it was a 4th and 3 or 4th and 4, and Ram had a false start, and part of me was like clapping because I was like, "Oh, good!" Like, and Ram just saved Dennis Allen, from like going for it on 4th down and not getting it, and I was like, "Oh, we'll get 3 points." And this is how I knew today was going to be one of those days. I leaned over. So I went to the game with Eric at Hudat Homo, and I leaned over to him right before Will Lutz attempted that field goal, and I was like, "Bro, like Will Lutz is about to miss this shit." That's right before he kicked it. I said, Will Lutz about to miss this shit. Sure enough, Ryan, whoop, and that's been a very underrated storyline that hasn't been talked about a lot because the Saints have been so shitty in like other areas that it gets like overlooked. But he's been not good this season.
Right.
He's been bad.
And we, after last year with him injured, we hoped that he would solidify that area, but it's really been kind of, I mean, he's made more than he missed, but man, he's missed
and he's missing like
crucial ones,
a lot of like field goals that he shouldn't be missing.
Exactly.
Like he'll bang like a 50+ yarder, and then he'll miss like a 40-yarder or some shit like that.
The ones we need, like the ones like this was a game you could have won with kicks.
Oh, you
could have won this game with field goals.
Going back to elite coaching versus not good coaching, seeing what Dennis Allen was trying to do at the end of the half when they had like 10 seconds left or what, I don't know, like 14 seconds left, and the Niners had already went up 10-3, and at that point I'm just like, bro, like what are you going to accomplish in 10 seconds? Like what are you like? And like the last play, it's like a draw play, or he calls this play, and AK gets a little banged up, and then Josh Andrews, the center who's replaced Eric McCoy, who has quietly had like some good starts, bro. Like you're talking about, he's played fine, like he's played well. Like anyway,
you haven't talked about him. That's the point.
Which is great for like a backup center, and they both get banged up on this play where it's like, why are you just not taking a fucking knee? Like don't.
Right.
I don't understand it. And this is a game where on one hand, the fire Dennis Allen screams should be full throat. And I just know, bro, he going to Mickey's off. He's like, you see that's what my defense doing? We held the vaunted 49ers offense to 13 points. Like, this is not on me. This is on Pete Carmichael. This is on special teams. Like, he is going to blame everybody else but him.
No question. And you saw it. I mean, you can see it easily because the Saints finally get a little healthy on defense. And it's like, see, if I could just get a little luck with injuries, I could coach my defense. And if we could just get Pete Carmichael out of here.
Y'all want to get
Carmichael out of here, will you lure it back? You know what I'm saying?
This man didn't even want to be out. And and this has kind of been Pete Carmichael's thing this season, is there's games where he, from like the 20 to 20, he's fine. Like he's good, he's cooking, it's a good mix, good run, good pass. And then as soon as that red zone hits, man, it just fucking falls apart.
Because, bro, red zone, that's where your money at, boy. Like, you got to cook. You got to come up with new plays every week. You got to dig it to the bag, man. That's the money. That's the money. That's where everybody earn they bucks, is in the red zone. And if you not like, bro, just think of it. I just watch other games and I'm like, man, why we can't do that?
It looks hard, man. They make it look hard.
Make it look so hard, bro. Like, I mean, you got Alvin Kamara, you got Taysom Hill, you got, which they tried, a lot of Taysom Hill plays today that, a lot of them didn't go anywhere. You got Shaheed, you got Olave. Where's Olave in the red zone? You know what I'm saying? Where's, Jawan Johnson? So many things you could do, but it's like, it's so non-creative, man. It's so non-creative. It's like, it's hard to even figure this team out, man, because look, man, like the defense did play well, bro. Like, you look at the start of this game, the offense came on the field, fumbled, defense stood tall because the fumble was, I don't remember where, but it was at like in a bad part of the field.
Yeah, it was.
Defense held tight, allowed a field goal, but, held tight, with multiple attempts for the end zone. Then, Saints punt again, San Francisco punt, Saints punt, San Francisco punt.
This was the first game in a long time, too, where the Saints actually were getting pressure defensively from the defensive line.
I thought Onyemata played well. I thought Marcus Davenport.
He did.
Man, they were beating on Garoppolo, man. Like after he kicked the ball out, they were on his ass. He failed on a fourth down, punt. Then they wound up allowing a touchdown, and it just felt like that was it. After that,
that was it.
After all that punting, you just felt like, man, this is it.
And I think
you've been saying it on this pod all season, this season, but the the tips, the ricochets, they have not gone the Saints' way. All first of all, I gotta say this. I know he got his hand on the ball. I know he tipped it. It still ended up a touchdown in a very Saints fashion. Number 32 on the Saints on defense is stealing checks. This man is stealing checks.
Man.
He needs to be benched. Watching his play watching his play on TV is probably, but seeing it in person, the just lack of effort. It's just, I'm just like, can I get Daniel Sorensen on the fucking field? It's Ryan. It's astounding, and I've seen him play. I've seen him play in person now three times this season. Minnesota, he gets the interception. He got an interception against the Raiders game in New Orleans, but there were some plays this game where it's just like, are you like? Do you know that the play is live? Just bad.
Not playing to the whistle.
Just bad. Another thing, I love that Bree having a good time. Another thing is that they cannot let number 55 out the door. You can't let it happen, bro. They can't let it happen, bro. They cannot let it happen. Even if it's going to hurt some people, even if you got to let go of DeMario to keep 55, so he's on the field and you have 55 and 20, like the all white hope linebacker crew. You got to do it, man. All game, he was all over the field. And we saw some bonfire, bro. It actually
Bruh.
worked.
Couldn't believe it. First I saw him like he was on the field, but they wasn't rushing him yet.
Yeah,
we got some bonfire.
He dropped a lot. They had him in coverage a lot.
Yeah. Then he started rushing the pass and was hitting the quarterback. I was like, oh my God. They finally listened to us. Finally. I really do hope like they watch the tape and like, let's do that more. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's do that. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, bro, even if it's just like as a third down, you know what I'm saying, obvious pass situation, like, that's something, man. Like, the defense needs a little something, a little kayak, something, man.
Something.
And you got this dude, the defense in the second round pick, like, try to get something out of this other than, like, a field goal protection, you know what I'm saying, or punt protector. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, get this man involved, you know? It's like, I'm not even saying, like, oh, I think he's this secret key to the defense. It's just annoying to me that you got this player here that does have some kind of athletic ability. It's like, can we figure out a way to use him? And just to see that, man, it was like, yes, thank you. Thank you.
Will that happen going forward in the future?
No.
Probably not likely. But getting back to
what were your thoughts on
Go ahead.
Yeah, the tips, man. But like, I thought this game was like, it signified the ball not bouncing your way, and even if it bounces your way, you don't take advantage thing. The Saints had. It was amazing. Like, there was one play where Jimmy Garoppolo, he's getting sacked, and while falling, he just like heaved the ball in the air for anybody, and it's like no Saint is even close. It's like, what in the world? Like, he just heaved it, Brady. Like, I think the close up, he had his eyes closed. He just like heaved it, motherfucker.
I guess the question is, they sit at 4-8 right now. I haven't checked it, but I believe their pick is 7th overall. It's going to the Eagles, who are fucking 10-1. And the conversation really has to be, Mickey Loomis has to sit down. He has to evaluate
And the question is, do I believe that Dennis Allen can coach this team? Period. Can he coach this team? Because seeing that Dennis Allen, okay, keep in mind, listeners, keep in mind, Ryan, that the Saints did not score a single point today. First time in 20 plus years. Not a field goal, not a safety, nothing. And this man in
Saints
the pressure,
was in the NFC West.
This man in the pressure literally said, I feel like we played the game the way the game needed to be played. How can you fix your mouth to say that when your team doesn't score a single point in a game where the point is to score more points than the other team?
He's talking from he's still a defensive coordinator in his head. He's talking from the defensive standpoint, which they did play the game the way it needed to be played on defense. That's the way his brain is working now. He's like, look.
You know what, buddy? You're a head coach. That means all three phases you are responsible for. You can't go into Mickey's office crying, oh, Mickey, my defense played well. They're getting healthier. Like, look what we can do, and I have talent. And it's like, but you also are responsible for the other side of the ball. You're responsible for the offense. You're responsible for special teams. You can't come in my office talking how the D played well when the offense doesn't score a single point for the first time in like 20 plus years. Ugh.
That's the point. And it took, Sean Payton a while to get that himself. Because he's such an offensive guy that he could figure he could just stick his buddies in there, or Gibbs, who he had the first couple of years, and, ride that out. And it took him to realize, like, look, you need some juice. Gave up part of his salary to get Greg Williams in there. Understood that, this deep, like, you could have all the offense prowlers you want, but you need a good defense, and you need to, have somebody that could run the ship. And, obviously he needed help. You know what I'm saying? And Dennis Allen, I just don't feel like he's a guy that can actually see that. I think he looks at offense more like a lot of defensive coaches look at it. They just look at it like a tool, like, hey, man, just protect the ball, run the ball, control the clock, give my defense a chance, and we can win most of the games and lose. Right. Man, well, can we talk about the refs, though, bro? I know I'm not a big ref guy, but, man, this was some awful officiating in this game, bro. You had the Chris Olave. That was a catch. Like, I have no idea, like, what to think about it. I was like, okay, that's a catch.
It was a catch. I don't know if
they called it a catch.
And I don't know if they would have capitalized on it and did something after he called it. But the fact that got called back was, I don't know, man. I've been
to go ahead.
Well, I was going to say I've been to a few Saints games as the away team, and by far my interactions with 49ers fans are the absolute worst I've experienced in any sports event medium. And it's not even close. It is not even remotely close. Me and Eric were coming back from the bathroom on the Alontae Taylor pick, and there's a flag down, and Eric was like getting hype, and I was like, it's probably not going to stand. It was just one of those games where it just seemed like nothing went their way. Like, it's hard enough to beat a talented team like the 49ers, and they are talented. Although, like, seeing them in person, I was like, they're okay. Like, they're not like world beaters. Like, they're all right. But the officiating I thought was bad, and that Olave overturn was dreadful. I don't know how you overturn that. He catches it, He takes 3 steps. He goes down. His forearm hits the ground. He's down, and then the ball does not move. Well, whatever, man.
And then, like you said, that Alante Taylor pick, great play. And they find some ticky tacky Chris Harris uh, holding. And it's like, what is that? That is like within 5 yards. It's like, what is going on? It was so ticky tacky, bro. It was like, oh my God. So, the Saints basically had to beat the 49ers and the refs.
What happened?
That's not giving them any excuses, but it was just one of them games.
49ers, refs, DA. I mean, listen, it was to the point that Eric and I were cheering for first downs, bro. Like that's all we had to cheer for. It's like, oh shit, we got 10 yards. Ah shit.
I think Shaheed had like what, 3 catches? I was like, oh shit, Shaheed still in the game.
Getting back to your thing about the red zone, like they used the Shaheed jet sweep motion once in the game and it worked. Why are you not doing more of that in the red zone? I don't, like I said, Pete Carmichael got his out of office reply up to January just on cruise control, bro. Just cruising.
And look, man, like some of it was bad. Like you had AK, he was about to score and he fumbles right there on the freaking
oh my God.
Right there in the freaking end zone. It was like
that was coming right towards us too, man. Like we were close to it. It was just like, again, speaking about the bounces, right? Ball like bounces backwards and bounces in the end zone, and like Juwan couldn't like fall on. Like,
oh man, like Juwan Johnson was right in his bread bucket, bro. Like, it was right there. Like I guess you can't fault him for not catching it, but it's like, it was right there. Like every other team would have capitalized that.
100%.
If that happened to the 49ers, they 100% would have caught that.
It's not that.
In fact, we've seen that today. Like we just. It just showed you, man, the football guys not on our side this year, bro. They like, y'all need to fire that boy. They trying to get us aside.
Should have went after Deshaun Watson, bro. You reap what you sow.
Reap what you sow, baby.
Reap what you sow, bro. And who was okay with going at DA was okay. Like it just, I say that a little bit in hyperbole, but the real overwhelming theme for this team in these next 6 games, 5. I don't even know how many games are left. Whatever remaining games are left is they have to be evaluating Dennis Allen. We know where we stand. If it was me, he's gone. He's gone. You get someone like the fact that I'm looking like, man, David Shaw resigned at Stanford, bro. Like,
hey. Found that very interesting. Very interesting guy, Very interesting guy.
I'm like, man, if it was me, I'm looking at who I could bring in to lead this team, who could command respect, and who would be a coach at all 3 facets.
Exactly.
Not just defense, not be clueless when it comes to offense, not be clueless when it comes to just simple game management. Because that's a huge thing for DA that drives me absolutely crazy is just he just doesn't seem how to know how to manage a game. And it's like at this point, you've been a head coach for almost 4 years or 4 NFL seasons. How do you still not know how to manage a game? Unless you just are just not good at that and you just shouldn't be a head coach, which is fine.
Hello.
Which is fine. Like Wade Phillips turned out like, he was a great defensive coordinator. He wasn't a great head coach. I mean, even though
right.
he was still more successful at head coach than the DA was, and then he went back to being a defensive coordinator. He flourished. You just got to know what your lane is. And Mickey and Gail and Dennis just trying to keep Dennis Allen as head coach and trying to just fit this square peg in this round hole. Like at what end? I guess is my question.
Right.
At what end?
And I can already see they're going to be like, oh, he earned his lumps this year. He saw the mistakes that was made and was going to be able to grow from it. I can already hear it, bro. Like,
and this
dude ain't going nowhere, man.
And I just wish I wish I had credentials, because as soon as they start spewing that BS, I would ask, like, oh, that sounded very familiar of excuses of what we heard in Oakland when he was the head coach. Hello. No, like you just got to call a spade, right? Like, and to me, if a team like the Broncos can be one and done with Nathaniel Hackett, like you telling me that DA can't be fired, and I get it. He's in the fraternity. It is what it is. I highly know he's going to be back, but man, if I'm not pushing the agenda, and the shitty thing is, even if they lose all these next games, they lose the remaining games. If the defense plays well and the offense plays shit, he has a scapegoat. Pete Carmichael, get a new OC. That was what was wrong with the team. My defense is playing well, or we're playing well to end the season. I can already see it, bro. Like, it's already been written.
But you know what's gonna happen, right? They play the Buccaneers next Monday Night Football. Lattimore gonna be back, ready for Mike Evans, and the defense is gonna play lights out. And I mean, look, they could beat the Bucks.
Oh,
like,
yes,
they can still beat the Bucks, even with Andy Dalton. Yes. They could beat the Bucks.
Yes.
And like that, to me, if they beat the Bucks, that's it, bro. Like, DA is officially coming back. Like, it's in the books. That will put them. I mean, I don't know where we'll put them as far as like in a playoff hunt, but I guess they'll be kind of hanging around. I don't know, but I could just see that being. I could just see them coming out playing their lights out next Monday night on Monday Night Football, bro, and that's going to stamp DA for another season. I already know it, bro. Like, I know it. At the very least, his defense is going to play crazy.
And, oh yes, without question. But buckle up, Saints fans. Buckle up.
Oh, I wanted to ask you what you think about, because it seemed I couldn't tell. They started the game with Roby playing on the outside, and it seemed like
they were rotating them, and it was
kind of rotating. Yeah,
it was weird. It was weird. It didn't make any fucking sense. Towards the end, they seemed to have just settled with Alante, but it's like, why were you?
When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger, where you'll find over 30,000 mouth-watering choices that excite your inner foodie. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices, plus extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week. You can also save up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with fuel points. More savings and more inspiring flavors make shopping Kroger worth it every time. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Save big on your Memorial Day barbecue, all in the Kroger app. Get pints of juicy Georgia-grown blueberries for $1.99 each with a digital coupon. Then get select varieties of flavorful Powerade, Body Armor Super Drink, or Arizona tea for 77 cents each, all with your card. Shop these deals at your local Kroger, less than 5 miles away. Or tap the screen now to download the Kroger app to save big today. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Prices and product availability subject to change. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
Why were you rotating to begin with? Why did Roby come out and start in that first defensive series over Alante? It just didn't make any sense to me. But at the same time, we talked about on the preview pod that if Roby was healthy, if the team started him over Alante, and there's snaps were split, But for the first defensive drive, they did start Roby over Alante. To me, like that tells me everything I need to know about this team and this coaching staff. Everything.
Like that just made it more weird to me. The fact that he was rotated in. Like if you just started Roby and then like I don't know maybe bring Alante on like dime snaps or something like that. Okay, but it was like what exactly is going on here?
In and out. Because it's not like maybe even one thing if you're trying to match personnel with like body types of like, okay, we want Roby in the game if this wide receiver is in for the 49ers, but then Alante. But that's not what they were doing. They were literally like subbing out series. Why? Again, coaching.
Because at first I was like, well, maybe Roby's, he's a veteran and, Kyle Shanahan likes to do a lot of things. So maybe they want Roby in there, just because he's more knowledgeable of the game. He's a veteran. But no, they rotate him in and out. I mean, I was like, so I don't, why not let your rookie just take the lumps, bro? Like I know he might have missed tackles and stuff like that, but it's not like it's not like Roby was some great tackler. It's
right. Like, he got like disgustingly juked on one play, bro. And I was like,
gross.
Get this man off.
Get him out of my face.
You're 4-7, now 4-8. At this point, you need to be evaluating all your players, especially your young players that you have on the team. We didn't even kind of hit on that Trevor Penning played today.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't play that well at all.
Oh, you really? I didn't focus on him. I just saw him coming on.
Yeah. And this kind of goes back to coaching too, but I think this was after the Saints had stopped them on fourth down, and the Niners didn't get in, and then they were basically driving from their 2-yard line, and it was third down or second down, and they put in Penning as an extra offensive lineman, and I even go to Eric and I said, I don't like Penning being in the game right here. I didn't like it. I just didn't like it, and I think it was a pass play, and he whiffs on whoever he was. It was 56 on the Niners. Don't know who it was. He whiffed, and he actually got he whiffed, or it led to a hold in the end zone that would have been a safety. But the Niners had defensive pass interference on Chris Olave, so it was an offsetting penalty. But there are a couple of
face masks.
Yeah, it was a face mask. Sorry. There were some snaps when Penny came in that he didn't look good. He missed some blocks. There was a couple of run snaps where Andres Pete, 2 to 3 times, just completely just whiffed, just missed his man. That were getting blown up in the run game. All in all, I think in terms of pass blocking, the offensive line played extremely well against a front like the 49ers. But run blocking, there were some gaffes, and I think Penning has a long way to I'll say it like this. I don't think he's starting at left tackle at all this season unless James Hurst gets hurt. Yeah. I don't even think, even if James Hurst got hurt, man, I don't even know if Penning would start at that point. I think Landon
probably not, man. I mean,
would still start over Penning.
I mean, the dude ain't played months.
Months.
He was already a work in progress, up until he got hurt, and hadn't played in months. So,
and that was wild.
You just gotta.
I was like, this. You on your 2-yard line. You're in an away game in a hostile stadium, and you're putting in this player who's literally taking his first NFL regular season snaps at. I was like, I mean, I get it, but I was like, man, that's to me, I'm putting Landon Young in there. That's me. I'm not. I'm not putting Trevor Penning in anyway. So, but this is you got to start evaluating him as a player because he's a key cog or factor of the team in the future going forward. So you got to see how he is. But anyway, we're not going to continue and just talk about this game anymore. It is what it is. It's just kind of par for the course for how the season's been. Get shut out to the Niners, and they have the Bucks Monday Night Football. And there's
bye week.
Oh my god,
bye week after that. Thank God.
When I tell you, I have not been looking forward to a bye week in this. That bye, oh my god, like it's gonna feel like vacation, bro. like that bye. Like I don't even play for the Saints or work for the Saints. That shit gonna feel like PTO, bro. Like,
bro, give them dudes a break, bro. Like Jesus.
Yeah. So we will be back on Wednesday previewing that Bucks game. That I think it's going to be a competitive, close game. I think it's actually could be a game that they could actually squeak out and win, just depending on what happens. You got to flush this game, but I really hope if you're the GM of this team, or you're the president, and you're the owner, you look at this game and you just go, man, like. The team we had last year won 9 games with bad injury luck, with COVID, with the hurricane evacuation. We were able to win 9 games largely because we had a top 3 head coach in this league. And just by simply removing that person from the team, we are 4-8, and we can't score a single point in a regular season game. Like they got to sit down and have that conversation to be like, what does that mean? What does it mean? I know what the answer is, but is that front office having those real discussions and real like evaluations of the team and who's running the team and who's coaching the team? Because if not, you're doing yourself a disservice to the team and to the fans. Honestly, you are. But we shall see what happens. Anything else from this game you wanted to hit on or touch on?
Nah, man. But shout out, we still had the Zoom today. Shout out to everybody that came through. It was still a packed house. Just I love it, man. Just I'll Zoom when we don't do it, I feel bad not being there. You know what I'm saying? It's just
right.
Just one of those things I kind of look forward to. Even with the Saints losing how they do, it just makes. I don't know. It's just like we stayed on like an extra 15 minutes, just deep diving into the Saints situation and just diving into it, having like a real talk about what they should do and stuff like that. So it's it's a great community. So if you want to be a part of that, definitely join the Patreon. You could be a part of the game day Zoom and talk shit with us during games. It's awesome. Like it's hard to explain it, but once you're a part of it, like everybody I see that joins it, they always come back. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Plus, it's a great way to watch things, especially this season. Like, thank God. Like, for us, like, to just have a space where we can just all watch the game together and just, like, have misery loves company, man. So, like, just be all just enjoying the pain together and just laughing it. Like, it's nothing like it. So,
in the comfort of your own bedroom or whatever, you know what I'm saying? You're not in the bar or nothing like that with aggravating drunks. So you just being there chilling, and you can mute it when you want to. You can sign off when you want to. It's the best.
It is, man. It is. We will for sure be doing one for Monday Night Football, which I'm sure will be will be fun. But thank y'all for the support. Truly, this has been a very difficult season, and it's not over yet. But there's still tons of support. And if you want to be part of the community, please become a Patreon. We'll be back on Wednesday. Hit us up. I feel like we haven't done like a Q&A show or something like that in a while. So like, throw a question to us. To our Twitter, our Instagram, whatever. Hit us with the question. We'll probably maybe do like a preview pod / Q&A on Wednesday. But thank y'all for the support. We truly appreciate it. We'll be back on Wednesday, and then Monday night for the Bucks game, do the recap, do our live stream. With that, we're out.
Peace.
When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger, where you'll find over 30,000 mouth-watering choices that excite your inner foodie. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices, plus extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week. You can also save up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with fuel points. More savings and more inspiring flavors make shopping Kroger worth it every time. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply. When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger, where you'll find over 30,000 mouth-watering choices that excite your inner foodie. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices, plus extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week. You can also save up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with fuel points. More savings and more inspiring flavors make shopping Kroger worth it every time. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.